In life, many of our frustrations, disappointments, and anxieties come from trying to control things that are simply beyond our reach, other people's opinions, external circumstances, or unpredictable outcomes. The key to lasting peace and personal power lies in shifting our focus inward, toward the one thing we can truly govern, ourselves. This section will guide you to understand why focusing solely on what you can control is essential for a balanced, fulfilling life. By mastering your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and letting go of everything else, you will cultivate inner peace, resilience, and genuine freedom. Seeking happiness from within, not from others. In life, many people believe that their happiness depends on others, on their family's approval, on the love of a special someone, on the admiration of friends, or on their success in society's eyes. Yet, when these external conditions change, when someone no longer loves us the same way, when work fails, or when attention fades, we easily feel disappointed, saddened, even devastated. This reveals an important truth: if our happiness lies in the hands of others, we will always be insecure and vulnerable. Because other people and external circumstances are things we cannot control. Therefore, if we want to attain lasting joy, we must learn to turn inward and find it within ourselves. 1. True happiness is a state of inner being. Happiness is not a gift given by someone else, but a state created by our own awareness and attitude. A person can live surrounded by wealth and still suffer, while another may live in poverty yet smile with genuine peace. The difference lies not in the circumstances, but in how the mind responds to life. When we realize that happiness is born from inner peace, through contentment, gratitude, and letting go of expectations, we no longer exhaust ourselves chasing after external things. 2. Why should we not rely on others for our happiness? Others have their own burdens. Everyone is busy dealing with their own life, so expecting someone to constantly make us happy is unrealistic. Everything is impermanent. Feelings can change, circumstances can shift, and someone who is with us today may be gone tomorrow. If happiness is based on temporary things, it too will become fragile. Dependence weakens us. When our joy depends on others, we easily lose ourselves. We live according to others' expectations, fearing disapproval, and sacrificing our inner freedom. 3. How to find happiness from within? Turn inward and listen to yourself. Instead of asking, "What do people think of me?" ask, "What do I truly want? What brings genuine peace to my heart without any conditions?" Practice daily gratitude. Realize that just having breath, sunlight, the opportunity to learn and to love, these are already miracles. A grateful heart finds happiness more easily. Nurture inner peace, through meditation, mindfulness, or simply quiet moments each day, moments when we are fully present without chasing anything. Let go of excessive desires. By demanding less from life and from others, we discover that freedom and serenity are far more precious than the endless striving for control or possession. 4. Simple metaphors. Relying on external sources for happiness is like depending on a boat adrift at sea, vulnerable to every storm and wave. Finding happiness within is like growing roots deep into the earth, staying steady and strong no matter how fierce the winds. When we build a resilient inner world, every relationship and experience becomes a gift, not something we cling to for survival. We love others freely, not to fill an emptiness, but because our hearts are already full. Don't be afraid of loneliness, don't rely on others. 1. What is loneliness? In life, everyone experiences loneliness at some point, a feeling of emptiness or lack of connection. Many people view loneliness as something negative, frightening, and to be avoided at all costs. As a result, they try to cling to others, to relationships, hoping to fill the void within. But in truth, loneliness is not an enemy. If understood correctly, loneliness is a precious opportunity to return to yourself. 2. Why are we afraid of being alone? Fear of facing ourselves. When no one is around, all the suppressed fears, anxieties, and unmet needs tend to surface, making us feel uneasy. Fear of being abandoned. We often tie our self-worth to being loved and recognized by others. Without anyone by our side, we might feel not good enough. Fear of having no one to share with. Human beings naturally crave connection. Without companions, we may feel isolated and unloved. However, all these fears come from a deep misunderstanding, the belief that our value depends on others. Once this illusion is cleared, loneliness loses its power to frighten us. 3. Don't depend on others to escape loneliness. Many people, out of fear of loneliness, rush into unsuitable relationships, just to have someone around. But this only makes them feel even more disconnected because there is no real harmony. True, lasting happiness cannot be built on clinging to others. Others can accompany and share the journey, but no one else can fill the emptiness inside you. If you cannot be peaceful alone, you will still feel lonely even in a crowd. 4. How not to fear loneliness. Build a strong relationship with yourself, learn to love and accept yourself even when no one else is around. Practice mindfulness. Sitting quietly, breathing slowly, and observing your feelings helps you realize that loneliness is just a temporary sensation. It comes and goes, nothing to run away from. Find joy from within. Engage in activities that help you connect with yourself, such as reading, writing, painting, walking in nature, to realize you are already complete. Understand that everything is impermanent. Both loneliness and relationships can change. If you can find peace within yourself, you will no longer fear those changes. 5. A simple analogy. A person who fears loneliness is like a candle flickering in the wind, desperately seeking a wall for protection. A person who embraces solitude is like a lamp that shines on its own, unaffected by darkness or light. When you learn to love yourself in your loneliness, you will no longer need validation from the outside world. And interestingly, at that very moment, genuine, healthy relationships will naturally find their way to you. Stop seeking validation from others. Don't rely on others. 1. Why do we always crave acceptance? Since childhood, we have learned to seek praise and recognition from parents, teachers, and friends. Over time, this need becomes deeply ingrained in our subconscious, causing us to judge our self-worth through the eyes of others. Fear rejection and fear disappointing others. Long to be liked and approved in order to feel good enough. This mindset causes us to depend on others to feel valuable, instead of trusting our own worth. 2. The downside of constantly seeking acceptance. Losing yourself. When you try to please everyone, you forget what you truly want. Constant anxiety. External validation is ever-changing. If your happiness depends on it, you will live in endless worry and insecurity. Being controlled by expectations. Others impose expectations on you, and you force yourself to meet them, even when it goes against your true desires. Living like this, you are no longer the master of your own life, but rather become a puppet, manipulated by others' opinions and judgments. 3. How to stop seeking validation. Realize, your worth does not depend on others' opinions. You are an independent being. Your value comes from your existence, your efforts, and your soul, not from the praises or criticisms of others. Remember, being praised doesn't make you better. Being criticized doesn't make you worse. Only you can define who you are. B. Turn inward. Instead of looking outward for approval, learn to validate yourself. I love and accept myself, whether I succeed or fail. I understand that my flaws are part of my growth. I don't need anyone's approval to know that I am living true to my conscience. C. Accept being disagreed with. No matter how good you are, there will always be people who dislike or disagree with you. That's normal. You don't need to force yourself to be liked by everyone. True freedom comes when you no longer fear disappointing others. 4. A simple example. Imagine you are a flower. If you keep trying to change your color or shape to please every bee and every gust of wind, you will lose your natural beauty. But if you bloom in your own way, those who truly appreciate your beauty will naturally come to you. Life is the same. When you become the truest version of yourself, you will not only live more happily but also attract relationships that are sincere and healthy. Learning to accept rejection, not relying on others. 1. Why are we afraid of rejection? Instinctive pain. Being rejected often makes us feel not good enough, abandoned or isolated. Fear of losing value. When others reject us, we may mistakenly believe it means we are less worthy or a failure. The habit of seeking approval. Since childhood, we are used to seeking acceptance, so rejection naturally triggers anxiety. However, the truth is, rejection is a normal part of life, and it does not define your worth. 2. Rejection is a natural part of life. Not everyone will align with you. Not every wish will be fulfilled. Rejection simply means differences in needs, perspectives, or emotions. One door closes so that you can find a better suited one. An opportunity to grow, learn, and understand yourself better. Instead of seeing rejection as a failure, view it as a necessary lesson in your journey of self-development. 3. How to learn to accept rejection. Separate yourself from the outcome. You are not the rejection. You are a person of inherent worth, no matter what the outcome is. For example, someone declining your proposal equals, it simply means the proposal wasn't a fit, not that you are a failure. A job turning you down equals, it might be because they need someone different, not because you are undeserving. B. Don't take it personally. Rejection often relates to the other person's needs, preferences, or circumstances, not your true value. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, try, this wasn't the right fit at this time. They have their own standards. I still have my own value, regardless of the outcome. C. Focus on improving yourself. Each rejection is a chance to reflect on how you present yourself. Enhance your skills, knowledge, and abilities. Adjust your expectations to be more realistic. In this way, every rejection pushes you closer to real success. 4. A simple example. Imagine you are selling sweet, delicious apples. Some people prefer green apples and decline your red apples. Some people aren't hungry at all, so they don't buy anything. Equals, this doesn't mean your apples aren't good. It simply means it wasn't the right customer or the right time. Life works the same way. Not everyone who rejects you does so because you are not good enough. Sometimes, it's simply a matter of fit. Don't be afraid of others' judgments. Learn to stop relying on others. 1. Why are we afraid of being judged? The need for approval. Since childhood, we've been taught that praise means doing right, while criticism means doing wrong. Fear of losing self-worth. We mistakenly believe that other people's opinions determine our value. Fear of isolation. The fear of not being accepted drives us to seek approval from everyone around us. However, the truth is, other people's judgments do not define you. They are merely subjective opinions based on their perspectives, experiences, and biases. 2. The true nature of judgments. Judgments reflect more about the person judging. How people perceive you often reveals more about their inner world, values, and fears. You can't please everyone. No matter how kind or genuine you are, there will always be someone who dislikes or misunderstands you. You are the only one who truly knows yourself. Only you are fully aware of your efforts, intentions, and true journey. Thus, overly caring about outside judgments only leads you further away from your true path. 3. How to stop being haunted by judgments. Identify your hidden fears. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of when others judge me? Does this fear truly affect my life, or is it just my imagination? When you look your fears straight in the eye, you'll realize they are not as frightening as they seemed. B. Build inner confidence. Instead of letting others define your worth, clarify your own core values. Trust in your process and your efforts, not in outcomes or praise. A person with a strong inner foundation won't be easily swayed by external opinions. C. Accept judgment as a natural part of life. Rather than resisting it, accept. Judgment will always exist. I don't need to control what others think. My job is to live true to my values and goals. The more you let go of the need to control how others see you, the freer you become. 4. A simple example. You wear an outfit you love. Some people say it looks great. Others say it doesn't suit you. If you constantly change based on others' opinions, you will eventually lose touch with your own preferences. But if you feel confident in your choice, compliments or criticisms will simply be background noise. 5. Conclusion. The greatest freedom is not being imprisoned by what others think of you. Live authentically for yourself, because only you are living your life, not anyone else. Don't trade your inner peace to please others. Learning to be independent from others. 1. Why do we often sacrifice our inner peace? Fear of rejection. Many people are afraid of being disliked or unaccepted, so they try to please others even if it means betraying their own feelings. Habit of seeking approval. From a young age, we are rewarded for pleasing others and criticized when we don't meet expectations, gradually creating the mindset that I must make others happy to have value. Desire to avoid conflict. To prevent arguments or displeasing others, we often compromise, even when it makes us uncomfortable inside. But the truth is, every time you trade your peace to please someone else, you are betraying yourself. 2. The price of people-pleasing. Losing connection with yourself. When you constantly live to meet others' expectations, you gradually lose touch with your own desires and values. Accumulating resentment. Outwardly smiling while inwardly feeling angry or hurt can build up over time, leading to stress or even depression. You can never please everyone. No matter how hard you try, there will always be someone who isn't satisfied. Trying to please everyone is a never-ending and meaningless game. 3. How to protect your inner peace. Set personal boundaries. Learn to say no when something feels wrong or goes beyond your capacity. Understand that you don't need to apologize for rejecting unreasonable demands. B. Make inner peace a priority. Ask yourself, will this make me feel light and right inside? Am I doing this out of genuine kindness or just out of fear of upsetting someone? If your answer leans toward fear, it's a sign to step back. C. Realize that true love doesn't require self-betrayal. Those who truly love and care for you will never ask you to sacrifice your peace. Genuine love and respect come from accepting your true self, not a version of you edited just to please others. 4. A real-life example. Your friends invite you to a late-night party when you're feeling exhausted and needing rest. If you reluctantly agree just to make them happy, you may end up feeling frustrated, drained, and even angry at yourself. If you gently decline and prioritize your well-being, you might feel awkward at first but later proud of yourself for honoring your needs. 5. Conclusion. Your inner peace is worth more than any temporary approval from others. Remember, you were not born to please everyone. You were born to live fully as yourself, with a peaceful heart and an authentic spirit. Focus only on what you can control, yourself. 1. Why should you focus only on what you can control? Reduce anxiety and stress. Much of our worry comes from trying to change things that are beyond our control, such as other people's thoughts, outcomes of situations, or external circumstances. Save energy. When you stop wasting time on things you can't change, you have more energy to invest in personal growth and achieving your goals. Develop self-mastery. Focusing on yourself builds resilience, independence, and a sense of inner stability. 2. What is truly within your control? Your thoughts. You can choose how you interpret and think about a situation. Your emotions. While you can't avoid all negative emotions, you can learn to process and handle them in a healthy way. Your actions. You control how you respond, how you live, and how you treat others. Your effort. The outcome may be unpredictable, but your effort and attitude are always within your control. Everything else, like how people view you, how they treat you, or external results, lies beyond your control. 3. Things you should not focus on. What others think about you. How others behave towards you. The ultimate outcome of your efforts, since many external factors are involved. Unexpected changes and uncertainties in life. Trying to control these things only leads to exhaustion, disappointment, and a loss of your true self. 4. How to practice focusing on yourself. A. Always return to the question, what can I do in this situation? When facing difficulties, instead of complaining, ask yourself, what can I change? What action can I take to improve this? B. Accept uncertainty. The world is constantly changing. Learning to accept that you can't control everything will bring more peace to your mind. C. Invest in personal development. Learn new skills, improve your health, and strengthen your mindset. These are things you have true control over and will benefit you in the long run. 5. A real-life example. You attend a job interview. You cannot control whether the interviewer likes you or whether the company hires you. But you can control how well you prepare, how confidently you present yourself, and how professionally you answer questions. Focusing on what you can control helps you stay calm and confident, regardless of the outcome. 6. Conclusion. Your life becomes much lighter when you only hold on to what you can truly control, yourself. By letting go of the urge to change others or manipulate outcomes, you will find genuine peace, strength, and freedom from within.